Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very impromptu and surprising view from the 40 on a Monday. Just sitting out in the car. One of the cool things about having one of these stands in my car is that I can come and talk to you guys, especially on a day like today where we have some late breaking news where the Ottawa Redblacks have announced that Dominic Davis is going to be the starting quarterback when they take on the Calgary Stampeders in their opening game on the 15th of June. It's surprising because the Ottawa Redblacks picked up Jonathan Jennings from the BC Lions. And usually when you pick up a player from another team in free agency, especially a quarterback that was a starter, it means you want that quarterback to be your starter. But I'm guessing that Coach Campbell saw something that he didn't like in Jennings, or perhaps saw things that he did like in Davis and decided to go that route. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Keith, you're just saying this because you're a BC Lions guy and you really like that team. And 100%, that's part of it. I was looking forward to seeing Jennings start, but I'm pretty sure that Mike Riley's going to start in BC. I'm pretty sure that Trevor Harris is going to start in Edmonton. Like, when you make a move for a quarterback, you want that person to be your starter. So I'm somewhat surprised that we're not seeing it. But on the flip side, I would say I'm not going to get too comfortable with Dominic Davis as a starting quarterback because I think he's being put in a position where he can either write this magnificent story for his career or his position as a starter might be short-lived. You see, the greatest obstacle that he has facing him right now isn't, whether or not his offensive line is strong, whether or not they can, rebound from the losses from free agency. It's the schedule. This schedule that he's going to be facing over the first 8 games is not favorable really to any quarterback. And I'm not going to be surprised if Jonathan Jennings his name doesn't get called by mid-August, because in the first several weeks, we've got Winnipeg twice, we've got Calgary twice, we've got Edmonton, we've got Saskatchewan, and a couple of games versus Montreal. If him and the Red Blacks, because obviously it's a team sport, are able to emerge from that with a winning record, respectfully, I will be surprised. Now, I'm not saying this because I'm a negative Nelly. I'm saying this because I'm being honest. In the offseason, the Western teams did a lot in free agency, whereas I felt that the Eastern Division was pretty much asleep. It's like they needed to be tapped on the shoulder. Oh, yeah, free agency's on. Because I don't think any Eastern team made a move until like the second day, whereas the Western teams were flying. The West got better, and I don't think the East has. So I think regardless of whether it was Jonathan Jennings starting or Dominic Davis, I think you're going to see both of those individuals with opportunities to be the starting quarterback of the Red Blacks. I will be shocked, like completely shocked. Like, I am talking Janet Jackson with Jermaine Dupri shocked if Dominic Davis is your starting quarterback throughout the entire 18-game season, barring any injuries, of course. He's got a very difficult road ahead of him. I do wish him all the best. But whoever made the schedule was not kind to Ottawa this year. And I know that the person who makes the schedule always gets dumped on. It's like probably the hardest job in the CFL, even beyond officiating. Every year people talk about the scheduling. I'm mildly fussed about what time of day people play and when the games are. Heck, I'd like it if we did what Toronto did last week and have an 11 a.m. game. I'd love to take a half day and go watch some CFL. But what I'm speaking about isn't the time of day, it's the teams that they're playing. And obviously, when you look at the later part of Ottawa's schedule, of course, towards the last few weeks, it's all Eastern focused. It would have been nice to see a breakup between East and West. Regardless, that's not the case. Ottawa has an extremely challenging schedule, and no one's going to feel that more than the quarterback, because Ottawa is a city where, respectfully, we have not learned how to lose. And when we lose, and I heard it at the preseason game, it's this person's fault, it's that person's fault, blame this person, trade that person, it's ridiculous. It happened with Henry Burris. It drove Trevor Harris out of town. It'll be very interesting to see how Dominic Davis deals with it, because I don't predict Ottawa is going to have a winning record in the early part of the season. I think it's going to be very challenging, and hopefully he's given every single opportunity to be successful. But if not, Jonathan Jennings, be ready, because your time's coming.